Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Dear students, this is our fourth video regarding introduction of books on classical mechanics. Okay, prior to this we have uploaded 3 videos in which many books on classical mechanics have been introduced. Okay, actually, dear students, books of classical mechanics and quantum mechanics are relatively more in comparison with other fields of physics. Okay, so I have previously completed actually books of classical mechanics and quantum mechanics have been saved in 2 folders, out of which I have completed first folder of books of classical mechanics, and now I am going to start second folder. Okay, second folder of books of classical mechanics is going to be opened so this is our fourth video. This is our fourth video. Okay, this is the second anyhow, let us start our second folder of classical mechanics. That is to say, we are uploading fourth video in which books of classical mechanics are being introduced so that students may be able to pick a book of their choice. Okay, dear students, this is the first book of our next folder in which books of classical mechanics are saved. Okay, first book is Analytical Mechanics by Lois N. Hand and Janet D. Finch. Here again there are 2 authors. I may have pronounced their names in a slightly improper manner, but it is not very much important. The more important is understanding the contents of this book. Okay, there are 2 authors of this book under title Analytical Mechanics, and these 2 authors are Lois N. Hand, Louis, Lois N. Hand, and Janet D. Finch. Okay, Janet D. Finch, there is less probability of improper pronunciation to the extent of this author, but the word Lois is a slightly unusual, so there is a mistake of improper pronunciation. Okay, now we are moving towards its contents, and before contents we will be able to see publisher name and the year of publication of this edition. Okay, so dear students, Analytical Mechanics, Lois N. Hand and Janet D. Finch, Cambridge University Press. Okay, so its publisher is Cambridge University Press, and this book was published in the year 1998. So definitely its printing technology may be slightly outdated, but it will work. Okay, actually such old books are usually reprinted under a term Kindle edition. Okay, anyhow, we move to its contents. Okay, chapter number 1, Lagrangian mechanics. Chapter number 2, variational calculus and its application to mechanics. Chapter number 3, linear oscillators. Chapter number 4, one-dimensional systems, central forces and the Kepler problem. Chapter number 5 is Noether's theorem and Hamiltonian dynamics. Its chapter number 6 is theoretical mechanics, from canonical transformations to action angle variables. Chapter number 7 is rotating coordinate systems. Chapter number 8 is the dynamics of rigid bodies. Chapter number 9 is the theory of small vibrations. Chapter number 10 is approximate solutions to non-analytic problems. Chapter number 11 is chaotic dynamics. Chapter number 12 is special relativity, and index is given at page number 565. Okay, I think it is enough about this book, and now we open next book. Okay, next book is being opened. Okay, this is the next book. Okay, Analytical Mechanics. Okay, Analytical Mechanics. Analytical Mechanics, Nivaldo A. Lemos. Okay, here again author's name is slightly unusual for Pakistani people like me. Okay, so irrespective of exact pronunciation, Analytical Mechanics by Nivaldo A. Lemos. Nivaldo A. Lemos. Nivaldo A. Lemos. Now we are moving towards its contents, and before contents we will be able to find out which publisher has published this book. Okay, Analytical Mechanics, Nivaldo A. Lemos, Cambridge University Press. Okay, so first information has been received, which was desired to be obtained. Okay, its publisher is Cambridge University Press. Now we see in which year this book was published. Okay, so English edition first published 2004. Okay, copyrighter 2004, and then revised and enlarged translation, etc. English edition first published 2018. It means perhaps it was translated from some other language. So anyhow, this is not more important. 2004, copyright to 2004, while this edition, English edition was first published in the year 2018. Okay, now we are gradually moving towards its contents, which is our main concern. Okay, chapter number one, Lagrangian dynamics. Chapter number 2, Hamilton's variational principle. Chapter number 3, kinematics of rotational motion. Chapter number 4, dynamics of rigid bodies. Chapter number 5, small oscillations. Chapter number 6, relativistic mechanics. Chapter number 7, Hamiltonian dynamics. Chapter number 8, canonical transformations. Chapter number 9, the Hamilton-Jacobi theory. Chapter number 10, Hamiltonian perturbation theory. Chapter number 11, classical field theory. And then appendix begins and index is given at page number 452. Okay, 452. Now we are going to close this book and we will open our next book. Okay, so here is our next book. Okay, yes, this is our next book, having page 827. Okay, yes. Dear students, we enlarge this book so that we may have a proper look at the book. Okay, analytical mechanics. Analytical mechanics of space systems, second edition. Okay, analytical mechanics of space systems, second edition. Its authors are two authors, Hans Peter Schaub, and second author is John L. Jenkins. Okay, once again, names slightly unusual. Anyhow, first author is Hans Peter Schaub and second author is John L. Jenkins. I think it is enough. Nothing is left in the name. What is left is a person's deeds. Okay, analytical mechanics of space systems. Okay, now we are moving towards its contents. Okay, analytical mechanics of space systems, second edition, Hans Peter Schaub, John L. Jenkins. Its publisher is slightly unusual. Okay, among most of the books which have introduced so far, perhaps this author has appeared first time. Okay, we see published by American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Okay, anyhow, actually this is because related to space, so its author is also um, special. Okay, copyright 2009. Okay, this book was published in the year 2009. Now we move to its contents. These are the editor's board. Now we are, yes, this is the table of contents. Okay, this is the table of contents. Part 1, basic mechanics. Okay, part 1, basic mechanics, in which chapter number 1 is under title particle kinematics, chapter number 2 is under title Newtonian mechanics, chapter number 3 is rigid body kinematics, chapter number 4 is Eulerian mechanics. Euler Eulerian mechanics. Okay, chapter number 5 is generalized methods of analytical dynamics. Chapter number 6 is variational methods in analytical dynamics. Chapter number 7 is Hamilton's generalized formulations of analytical dynamics. Chapter number 8 is non-linear spacecraft stability and control. Now part 2 of this book begins, which is about celestial mechanics. Okay, part 2 begins with chapter number 9, classical two body problems. Okay, this is chapter number 9 of this part 2. Chapter number 10 is restricted three body problem. Restricted three body problem. Chapter number 11 is gravitational potential field models. Okay, chapter number 12 is perturbation methods. Chapter number 13 is transfer orbits. Chapter number 14 is spacecraft formulation flying. And then appendix begins. And index is given at page number 789. While supporting materials is given at page number 794. Okay. So now we should open next book. Okay, next book, this is the next book. Dear students, this is the next book, Analytical Mechanics, Solutions to Problems in Classical Physics. Okay, it has two authors. Okay, Analytical Mechanics, Solutions to Problems in Classical Physics. Okay, it has two authors. Which two authors? Owen Mercies. Okay, Ioan Merches. Perhaps Owen Mercies. And second author is Daniel Radu. To the extent of Daniel Radu, our pronunciation is probably appropriate, but first author, name of first author is enough unusual. I think it is Owen Mercies and Daniel Radu. Okay, Anyhow, as in our previous videos, we give less importance to pronunciation of authors and more importance to contents of the book. Okay, this is the publisher of this book, CRC Press, CRC Press, Taylor and Frankis Group. Okay, then again, Analytical Mechanics. Okay. Analytical mechanics solutions to problems in classical physics on Mershis, Daniel Radu, CRC Press, Taylor and Frankis Group. Dear students, it has copyright of year 2015. Okay, 2005 or sorry 2015 by Taylor and Frankis Group. Okay, now we move towards its contents. Okay, we are moving towards its contents. Dear students, you can see that its preface was written in February 2014, and that definitely preface is written sometime prior to the year of publication or time of publication. Okay, now we come towards its contents. Chapter number 1 is fundamentals of analytical mechanics. Okay, chapter number 2 is principles of analytical mechanics. Chapter number 3 is the simple pendulum problems. Chapter number 4 is problems solved by means of the principle of virtual work. Okay, chapter number 5 is problems of variational calculus. Chapter number 6 is problems solved by means of the Lagrangian formalism. Okay, problems solved by means of the Lagrangian formalism. Okay, chapter number 8 is problems of equilibrium and small oscillations. Chapter number 8 is problems solved by means of the Hamiltonian formalism. Chapter number 9 is problems of continuous systems, and then appendix begins. References are given at page number 439, and I think we have given enough introduction. Now we should move further. Okay, we should move further. Dear students, next book is of very less pages, but despite less pages, we open this book. Okay, less pages do not necessarily imply that it is less important. Okay, quantity and quality are two different things. Okay, student physics, classical mechanics, BP Cowan, COWAN, Cowan or Cowan, BP Cowan, student physics series. Okay जी, okay, classical mechanics, BP Cowan. Its publisher is also different. Routledge and Kagan Paul. Okay, copyright 1984. Definitely very old printing technology. Chapter number 1, Newton's laws. Chapter number 2, energy and momentum. Chapter number 3, dynamics of a single particle. Chapter number 4, many particle systems. Chapter number 5, rigid bodies and non-inertial frames. Chapter number 6, Lagrangian and Hamiltonian mechanics. And then appendix is given at page 101, page number 109. Okay, I think it is enough. Next book is also of less pages, but despite less pages, we will watch what it is. Okay, Eastern Economy edition, revised edition, classical mechanics, C.R. Mondal, PHI publisher. Okay, classical mechanics, revised edition, C.R. Mondal, Prentice Hall of India Private Limited, 2008. Okay, it means this yes, this book was classical mechanics revised edition, C.R. Mondal, copyright 2008 by Prentice Hall of India Private Limited. Okay, now we come towards its contents. Chapter number 1, D'Alembert's principle and Lagrange's equations. Chapter number 2, variational principles and Lagrange's equations. Chapter number 3, equations of motion of rigid bodies. Chapter number 4, Hamilton's equations of motion. Chapter number 5, canonical transformations, and then index is given at page number 155 and 156. I think we should move further. Let us proceed further. Okay, this is the next book, Classical Mechanics. Dr. J.C. Upadhyaya. Okay, not exact pronunciation, Indian author. Anyhow, Dr. J.C. Upadhyaya, Dr. J.C. Upadhyaya, Himalaya Publishing House. Okay, Himalaya Publishing House. Its second preface to second edition was written in 2005. Okay, 12th July 2005. Now and its first edition, preface to first edition. Now we move towards its contents. Okay, as I emphasize on this thing that contents is our main concern. Okay, authors names, publishers, etc., these are subsequent things. Okay, contents. Chapter number 1, introductory ideas, Newtonian mechanics. Chapter number 2, Lagrangian dynamics. Chapter number 3, Hamiltonian dynamics. Chapter number 4, two body central force problem. Chapter number 5, variational principles. Chapter number 6, canonical transformations. Chapter number 7, brackets and Liouville's theorem. Chapter number 8, Hamilton-Jacobi theory and transition to quantum mechanics. Chapter number 9, small oscillations and normal modes, coupled oscillators. Chapter number 10 is dynamics of a rigid body. Chapter number 11 is non-inertial and rotating coordinate systems. Chapter number 12 is special theory of relativity, Lorentz transformations. Chapter number 3 is relativistic mechanics. Chapter number 14 is four-dimensional formulation. Minkowski space. Okay, Minkowski space. Minkowski space. Chapter number 15, covariant formulation of electrodynamics. Chapter number 16 is non-linear dynamics and chaos, and index is given at pages from page number 477 to 480. Let us move to next book, which consists of 490 pages. Okay, I think perhaps mistakenly we have gone through this book previously by mistake, because its author is J. Arul Das. No, we leave this book. Okay, this is perhaps a mistake on my part. Anyhow, despite this mistake, we reopen this book, which we have seen previously. Okay, classical mechanics, G. Arul Das. Okay, yes, this is the same book which we have visited previously. Now we move to another book. Yes, dear students, this is the book, Classical Mechanics, a professor-student collaboration. Okay, Classical Mechanics, a professor-student collaboration. Classical Mechanics, a professor-student collaboration, edited by Mario Campanelli. Mario Campanelli, with contributions from, we leave these unusual names. Okay, IOP Publishing, Bristol, UK. IOP Publishing, Bristol, UK. Year of publication. IOP Publishing Limited, 2020. Okay, 2020. Now we move to its contents. Yes, these are the contents. Okay, chapter number 1, mathematical preliminaries. Chapter number 1, mathematical preliminaries. Chapter number 2, Newton's laws. Okay, chapter number 3, kinematic relations. Chapter number 4, oscillatory motion. Chapter number 5, angular momentum and central forces. Chapter number 6, center of mass and collisions. Okay, center of mass and collisions. Chapter number 7, orbits. Chapter number 8, rigid bodies. Okay, chapter number 8, rigid bodies. Chapter number 9, accelerating frames of reference. Chapter number 10, fluid mechanics. Chapter number 11, solutions to mathematical. Okay, we leave these solutions. We see at which page index is given. Okay, not information about index. Okay, anyhow, page numbers are rather not given, or perhaps anyhow, we have gone through this book and now we should proceed further. Yes, okay, we are moving to next book. undergraduate lecture notes in physics. Undergraduate lecture notes in physics. Matthew J. Benaquista, Joseph D. Romano. Okay, dear students, slightly unusual names. Okay, Matthew J. Benaquista, and second author is Joseph D. Romano. Matthew J. Benaquista, Joseph D. Romano. Okay, Classical Mechanics. Springer is its publisher. Undergraduate lecture notes in physics. Okay, we are now gradually moving towards its contents. Matthew J. Benaquista, Joseph D. Romano, Classical Mechanics, Springer publisher. Copyright, yes, 2018. This book was published in the year 2018. Okay, 4 or 5 years earlier. Okay, now we are, yes, dear students, as I have previously stated that preface is always written some months prior to the publication of the book. So this book was published in the year 2018, while its preface was written and signed by the authors in August 2017. August 2017. Okay, now we are moving towards the contents of this book. Contents. Okay, yes. Chapter number 1, Elementary Newtonian Mechanics. Chapter number 2, Principle of Virtual Work and Lagrange's Equations. Chapter number 3 is Hamilton's Principle and Action Integrals. Central Force Problems. Chapter number 5 is Scattering. Chapter number 6 is Rigid Body Kinematics. Chapter number 7 is Rigid Body Dynamics. Chapter number 8 is Small Oscillations. Chapter number 9 is Wave Equation. Chapter number 10 is Lagrangian and Hamiltonian formulations for continuous systems and fields. Chapter number 11 is Special Relativity. And then appendix begins, and index is given at page number 541. Okay, index is given at page number 541. Index is given at page number 541. And now we should move further. Okay, now we have moved to another book, which is Indian publication, Narosa publisher. Okay, Narosa is a very famous Indian publisher. Okay, dear students, we have opened this book, Classical Mechanics, P.V. Panath or P.V. Pennant. P.V. Panath or P.V. Pennant. Hopefully Pennant is not pronunciation. Panath may be. Anyhow, we move to its contents. Chapter number 1, Revision, Conservation Laws, Elementary Rotational Motion, Illustrations of Newton's Laws, D'Alembert's Principle, Lagrangian Formulation, Velocity Dependent Potentials, Canonical Momentum, Variational Principle, Lagrange Undetermined Multipliers, Motion in Central Potentials, Qualitative discussion about orbital motion, scattering, Rutherford scattering, labs and center of mass frame, CM frame, moving coordinate systems, rigid dynamics, Hamilton's equations, Roth's procedure and least action principle, transformation theory, canonical transformation, Poisson bracket, further properties of Poisson bracket, motion as successive canonical transformation, action, Hamilton Jacobi equation, small oscillations, and this is the end of this book. And now we should proceed further. Okay, this is the next book. This is the next book. Yes, dear students, here again something unusual appears. What? D Gruyter, D Gruyter, Gruyter, D Gruyter, 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 D Gruyter. Okay, then Hikmat Hambaraj, Hikmat Hambaraj, Hikmat Hambaraj, classical mechanics, Hikmat Cambridge, classical mechanics, Hikmat Cambridge, classical mechanics, D Gruyter, 2021. Okay, this book was published in the year 2021. May 2021. Its preface was written and signed in May 2021. Now we move to its contents. Okay, contents. A brief review of calculus of physics. Physics and measurement, one-dimensional motion, two and three-dimensional motion, the laws of motion, circular motion and other applications of Newton's laws, work and kinetic energy, potential energy and conservation of energy, linear momentum and collisions, rotation of a rigid body, rolling motion and angular momentum, static equilibrium and elasticity, oscillatory motion, gravity. Index is given at page number 341. Okay, now let us move to our next book. Okay, here again, dear students, something unusual is going to be faced by us. Okay, UWE KREY, Cray. I do not know how to pronounce UWE. Okay, so I do not pronounce this. UWE Cray, UWE Cray, and Anthony Owen. UWE Cray and Anthony Owen. UWE Cray and Anthony Owen. Basic Theoretical Physics. Publisher is Springer. Okay, UWE Cray and Anthony Owen, Basic Theoretical Physics. UWE Cray, Anthony Owen, Basic Theoretical Physics, a concise overview. Okay, Springer is the publisher. Springer is the publisher, and this book was published in the year 2007. Okay, this book was published in the year 2007, and its preface was written and signed in May 2007. May 2007. Okay, not May. We say May in our local Urdu Punjabi language, Risenberg. Okay, now we move to its contents. Okay, space and time, force and mass, basic mechanics of motion in one dimension, mechanics of the damped and driven harmonic oscillator, the three classical conservation laws, motion in a central force field, Kepler's problem, the Rutherford scattering cross section, Lagrange formalism, 1. Lagrangian and Hamiltonian relativity, the principle of maximal proper time, coupled small oscillations, rigid bodies, remarks on non-integrable systems, chaos, Lagrange formalism, 2 constraints, accelerated reference frames, relativity, electrodynamics and aspects of optics, introduction and mathematical preliminaries of part 2, electrostatics and magnetostatics, magnetic field of steady electric currents, Maxwell's equations, Faraday's and Maxwell's laws, Maxwell's equations 2, electromagnetic waves, application of electrodynamics in the field of optics, quantum mechanics foundations. Dear students, it is enough. We will introduce further books in our next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz.